Where is it? Can you hear? Can you hear? Where is it? Can you hear? Can you hear? Where is it? Can you hear? Can you hear? Is it that bad? Somebody watching? Is the quality real low? Let's give it a try. Okay, I did this already. Okay, Aseprite. Let's clear this out first. Oh, nope, something's wrong. Okay, so this looks like I have 125. I missed a. Let's see what happened. Sometimes something goes wrong and it doesn't output all of the frames it's supposed to. Okay, so what happened here? Let's see. First, I'm gonna clear out this folder. Just made. Don't need any of it. I haven't actually done this export for a while, so 125, maybe this way. Next. think Aseprite, maybe 225. Because like, the last frame it got was this bat. And should have been in 3 frames, yeah. 224, 227, so why did that? So when you miss, so there should be 5, 6, missing 2 frames. So we'll go with that. Let's see. Sorry if the quality is awful. I'm watching Task Manager and so my CPU is maxing out. You know, need to get a new computer. I feel like it should be fine. I don't know what the. It's always struggling. I have like a really nice graphics card, decent at least. Okay, let's see. Is that animation? I think it's music box. Reset. I think I'm missing that last frame. Maybe it's because I'm running it too fast. Let's see. I have this frame. So that's the last frame I got. So I'm missing that last frame. So let's try running it slowly. Still have it open. Let's see. The time or what image is queued? It's supposed to be for. Zero inclusive, 0, 1, 2, 3. And then this is weird. Why is there there's a random normal frame in between? So that's not even the right frame either. It's 227. Windows. There's a little Windows thing where if you jiggle your window, it sends everything away, and I can't figure out how to turn it off. As far as I can tell, there's no way to turn it off. Maybe there's another animation that it's playing in between those. Because now, Bowser. Over here, the list of the ones she uses. And times ends up in the S section. Yeah. Okay. So this one, something's wrong with this. It's not getting the whole thing. I'm wondering if it's just the speed. So, like, sometimes when the playback speed's too high, what's going on? So, like, the thing about this little viewport capture thing that I have there's a playback speed on it that sets how fast they go. Is when you play the animation, this animation has a track that takes the screenshots, but it seems like the screenshots are a little bit delayed. So if you run it too fast, sometimes it skips things, I think. Let's just try again like this. Oh, that's all. I don't want all. No, stop. You're cute. No, 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 stop, stop. Stop button doesn't seem to work. Okay. Wow, neutral. Turn the speed down. Won't work. So now we get to sit and very slowly watch it go. But we're not gonna watch the whole thing. We'll go and play around with some things while that's happening. This does take a minute. It has to queue up 300 frames of animations. While that's happening, I'll go and see if I can. Well, I want to clear this. I want to clear this out because it's just. $75. So there's a couple things I want to do today. I've got a bunch of like debug. What's the difference between test and debug? I don't know. Maybe I have two like almost identical things. Oh, there we go. Okay. Save. Get all these and let's check. Let's see if we got 225. 224, 225, 26, 27. Awesome. Yeah, okay. Just gotta keep the speed down. Maybe I'll try it out with like nice. 302. I believe it's I think actually show. No. Aseprite doesn't show you if you have over 100 frames. It just like wraps it around, but I can kind of tell because it's like oh, it does tell you that. I never noticed that. Okay, so I think I have a different number of frames. So let's see. Anybody watch my video about how this process works? Talk through it as I'm doing it. Okay. So what I do is I have my rigs and I run through them, and then I have the little screenshot thing, and Aseprite lets you open. No. Aseprite lets you open single files if they have the number on the end as an animation. So then oh, it worked. Except I have this, so I changed the size. I made this way bigger because I want to have more space. But I guess that. Just shrink the size down. I don't know. Maybe I should just make this thing bigger because it does trim it. The way I'm exporting this file, it does trim when it exports the sprite sheet, so it shouldn't matter how big this is. I have to scoot stuff around. I don't know. How big is this? 420 by 320. The other thing I'm going to have to do here is, oh, you know what I should have done? I wonder how much I should explain. People like to know about Aseprite, little tricks. This one, 20. So when you resize the canvas, you can hit these little buttons to tell it which shift, and then you can decide which side. It's still a little bit too... Maybe now that that's set up right, I can just copy this again. But I still have it in. Ah, there, nice. Oh, okay. So I have this overlayer which handles like whatever I draw over the top of this, because I'm not taking this directly. I want to let's see. It'll look better if I manually draw in her hair and stuff and like fabric. So I'm gonna draw that in over the top. I did some of it so far, but not all. It's supposed to go. Oh, it's maybe it was like that. That's about right. Her nose looks like crap now. No, it's all wrong. Oh, it probably didn't select. No, it should select it. They should all be shifted up there. Sucks. I guess there aren't too many of these. I don't have to do them. Should also let me move everything up, all the layers of them onto select. It's just not doing that really. Not the layers, the frames. So hopefully this is the last time I ever change the size of the viewport that I'm changing. I don't want to do this. Here. That brings down. This is when she goes backwards. So another thing I did recently was I changed the number of frames in these idle animations. Smooth like butter. Oh, actually, you know what? Actually, let's see. So she starts out there. Another cool thing about Aseprite when you're animating this little button right here, onion skin. I probably want to put it behind or make it more transparent. Front, front, behind. It's so hard. It's like front, maybe that's a good. It's hard to see though, you know. Because I added new frames kind of in between what I had before. So now the hair should I probably should just redo the hair. Ponytails. Because like, yeah, there should probably be like a frame in between. Well, this one should definitely be over here. It's like, that, and then she bounces up. And then over here is where it will be. And then I'll need it in between these two. Same for the walk. I'll be, this is placeholder still. This is the top of the, change this around pretty significantly. That's not right. What's going on there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, maybe I didn't change the number of walk frames. What does that mean? I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll just go change it. Yeah. Get a little by little. Let's see. I'm gonna add some frames to box walk. Something else like it's a delicate system. You have to um, reset the animation before you see stuff. Is it? Only have 4 frames, so I gotta add some frames. Hard to say where I actually want to put the keys in them. Let's see. This is the first frame. She can. That's weird. She bounces up a little bit and then she jumps back. These don't actually loop. Yeah, what's going on with that? It doesn't. It's just the she needs to be down further. Yes. Position track hips. I guess what I should do is just duplicate this key. Change that. That's better. So when I'm exporting it, I don't want the animation to loop, but then it's gonna loop in the game. So I just, I'm gonna export 4 frames. I don't actually want to keep playing it. But I gotta make sure that it's gonna look good when it loops. Okay, so that's all right. And then I just got to decide where I want frames. 1, 2. Should I do a little hop? And then she's at the peak of it, and then she starts to go down. I think this would be better if it's that. Don't know. We gotta try it. Let's try it. Try it. That kind of thing should just show up, hopefully. Let's see. We have it cleared. We're at 3. We have val. Still have box over. Let's walk. Nope. Okay. Let's reset. Might have to hit save in a minute. I don't know if I have to save it. Okay. Should change that so that it's not. Nope, still no. Oh, I know why. I didn't set the key number. Okay, so you gotta. Tell it which keys are which. So this is 0. This is 1. Set all the arguments. Shift stuff around. You just gotta go through manually. So that should give it maybe. Oh, There we go. Okay. So this time, since I could just do one, I don't need to run every single one of them. Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna start at 0, so 0 inclusive. So let's just get rid of this stuff. Oh, open it up. Grab the walk animation, drop it in. Wait. So now I have to shift everything. Oh, but I have some kind of stuff is out of order. It's okay. That's why I'm doing this. It's been a while since I've checked through all this stuff and make sure it's good. Fix everything up. Blanks. Walk animation. Low enough. She's just missing some of her hair frames. Okay, now we can go through, fix this up a little bit. We can let this one be over here. This one can be scaled down, like, you know, like hair is like, you know what I mean? Know what I mean? Okay, so like that one, almost, that's the peak of it. I don't even know what this one should be. Maybe that one can be over here. I don't really like this frame. Because on these it should be like, you want the hair to trail behind what she's doing, like one frame, right? So it's moving nice, moving real nice. Nice and smooth. I'll just fix that later. This stuff can go behind her. I'm not going to overthink this. Because I'll probably have to end up doing it again. Oh no, look at all that. Ah! I actually did so many. Let's see if I can. Nope, still no. That's alright. I'm just going to do a quick job. Luckily, she's the only one I did this on so far because I was just kind of trying to test things out, you know? This doesn't even look right. Oh, because I added animations? Maybe this is... Yeah, I think these are off a little bit, you know? I gotta scoop these out. Because I added some frames, but I didn't scoop these. I think it was just the run frames. Must have been 3, because... Oh, this is no good either, because this is out of order. Uh-oh. Okay, we gotta find out everything that's wrong here. Because I added frames to things. Oh, I haven't gotten my run. Oh, I didn't add those either. Okay. So we got the idle. Idle is now 6 frames. Walk is 6 frames. Run is in 6 frames. Okay. Frames to the run image. Box run. And I got to do this for each of the other characters have different runs and walks. So Make sure they all have 6 frames. What I'm gonna do? Duplicate instead. It's way faster. Sit up straight. Okay. Okay, where do we want these to go? Probably we want frames at the most extreme poses, right? And the thing with this, it kind of is a delay by 1 frame, so that's why I have stuff like this is the extreme pose, but I have it there. Right? Let's just make sure that that's actually what's happening. Yeah, so that frame is one of these. I think that's the same frame right there. And this one is after it, but it looks can be hard to tell exactly which frame's which. Maybe it is. Oh wait. Oh no, frame 1 is this one. Maybe when I'm going slow enough, that's supposed to be the first frame. That's weird. Did I scoot this over though? Maybe I scooted. This is the frame I want to be the first frame. I put it last because it's, but I can tell it which frame is the first one by this argument. So 0 is the first frame. Okay. I'm just going to screw the whole thing up and put them out of order. 4 and we got a 5. Just gotta put them in order however I want. Okay, so that's frame 1. And probably then I'm going to want one in between. That'll be frame 2, or no, that'll be frame 3. Yeah, that'll be frame 3 because I want that to be the other end of it. You know, like this is the opposite. Like that's 1 and that's 3. This one's the most extreme. So, extreme, and then we want one where she's at the peak, right? But I don't know whether it'd be good if there were 8 frames, but that's fine. I don't need to go crazy. 6 frames. 6 frames will look good. Since I have 6 though, it's like 1 at the peak and then 1. There's that big gap between them. Maybe I should. Get this. Peak is here. How long it's like coming down for that. Let's export it and see how it looks, and then decide if it needs to change. Okay. Oh, I could have just. For some reason, these been having several problems lately. First of all, none of these option buttons seem to work with my mouse anymore. They kind of do, but not really. Second, my nice keyboard broke. I have a nice mechanical keyboard that's like a 60 key, but it does have arrow keys on it, which a lot don't of that size. But I spilled water all over my desk and it broke. But I have a backup, which is a nice Poker 3 It's Poker 3. But it doesn't have arrow keys. It has a function layer. So these are the arrow keys, but you have to hold down function to use the arrow keys. And that screws everything else up. So it's like this whole big problem, man. It's problems. Can't be bothered to try to fix them. I'm busy. I got things to do, man. Okay, I made it. Aseprite. Yeah, it looks weird. It looks wonky. Maybe it's just because one side isn't as low as the other. Can't tell if it's like it's still. These are still even, but oh, these are backwards. Okay, so her peak is here. So this peak should be here, but it's not. So it should go in here. Is the audio still good? Yeah. Just gotta remember not to mumble. Okay, don't mumble, don't mumble. Okay, run. We need to swap these two around, I think. No, I just need to. What do I need to do? Well, I need to put this one here, and I need to move this one back. Because this is the peak. Maybe I have this animation just kind of wonky in the first place. Yeah, it's kind of wonky, so that timing's off. So if I arrange the keys wonky, then it'll work out and it'll go back to being smooth and Aseprite. Because this timing isn't necessarily the timing that we're going to have. Because like there's 3 levels of different timing in this process. So I can change the timing here. And the Aseprite timing is even. And then when I bring the animation back into Godot for the actual final sprite, I can change the timing again. So there's all kinds of stuff. But I do need the frames to look right on there in Aseprite. So that is significant. Okay. So I fixed that. Turn off loop. Maybe if I just save it, it'll. Let's not risk it. Very easy to run it. Speed down. You know what I'm gonna do? Just that. Speed slider. I turned it up because I thought that running it at 6 would be okay, but it isn't. Now it should be capturing. How's this going? Still kind of weird. It's like still looks right, but something's off. She's just higher up there than she is there. So let's scoot her down. See if that looks better here. Yeah. That looks pretty good. Let's try to speed up. Still looks like she's kind of putting extra weight on her right leg or something. She's going lower here than she is. No? She's going higher in one than she is in the other? Yeah. So that one's way higher. Those are about the same. But same. These should be balanced. This one's a little too high. It's pretty good. Maybe she should just be closer to the ground in all cases, you know, like even these. Shouldn't go up as much as she is. Maybe it's just because there's 6 frames. That looks pretty good. I like that. Oh, no. Stop. Well, now I don't want to have to do that little scoot every time, so I have to go in here and make sure that it's good. So it's going up way too much. That's what we decided. So this height and this height should be the same here. Maybe not. Let's see what happens if I duplicate this. Is that already the same? Let's undo this and see. Yeah, it was already the same. Okay. Okay. Animation still up. It's just tiny, tiny, tiny bit. The tiniest bit. Peak is going to be lower. Higher than that. It's exactly the same. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Okay. As long as it converts well. Let's see. See, it changes. Hot change. 6 images. That works. I like that. That's good. Ponytails down. That looks good. These I'm going to move because they were forward. Game, so whatever. Whatever. Okay. Now I have to redo everything because yeah. Because I was 4 frames off. So let's just run everything again. While that's happening, maybe I'll go through the other walk cycles and make sure everything's good. For some reason, her arm isn't right unless I pick. What's going on there? Okay, there you go. Master. So other idols are tough idol. Reset first. Idol. Swinging the bat around. It only has. No, I added frames to that. Added a frame there. Tough walk and tough. That needs frames. Sassy, threatening. Over 5. Imagine this if I had to draw every frame. Like, it seems like a little fiddly thing, but man, imagine if I was drawing. I would have to redraw every one of these frames to add 2 frames into them. That's why in Mortal Kombat they just took pictures of themselves and made that into sprites. Claymation guys. I'm sure they made tons and tons of iterations of pictures of that claymation guy, whatever his name is. Forearms. We're just going to add the frames and not overthink it. Same problem as the other one. Maybe there was a reason I have them going up. Maybe it's because of like the 3/4 view or something. I don't like it. Why? Some kind of z-index problem. Is this? Yeah, look at that. So this leg, or right leg, should be higher up on the. Does that look good? Let's make sure the foot doesn't appear behind something, and it does. So let's see. So change any of these. It's relative, yes. That's weird. So this one's going in front of, maybe it's not going in front of everything. Maybe this is not as relative. It's just, there we go. That looks good. Is that bad? Yes. Screen one, screen one. Just going up a little bit. That's interesting. So I moved that one. One's lower. But actually, it's like. Good enough. What are the other idols? Oh, another thing I did was I made that. Him, his special idols and walks, but I did not import them to everybody else. I want every animation to be available to everybody. It's really the only one who's going to use this. Still. Sales, rigs. Look here, I have it set in his folder. Strut and what's more? slide. Oh, so no, I added. Nice. Okay. Jalen has extra. Oh, I added it there too. Okay, I probably did it. So no. Just gonna recreate. And I was gonna export this. Oh, that's fine. So, it's the same. All of them at the same time? I don't think so. Just see if it worked. I'm sure it did. I'm gonna redo that the guitar sprite. So what this one's gonna be, it's like he's got like an electric guitar, like it's like you know, like electric powers guitar, not just not just an electric guitar. So he's gonna be like make energy blast or something with this guitar, and it's gonna be shooting behind him. So that's why. You gotta be playing. So I'll make a cool sound effect. I'll get on make some kind of cool little riff he plays while he's running. Okay, that has all the frames, and I have a couple more float. So I added already. Nice. I just can't remember which ones I actually did. Glide, I think. Did not do glide. The one I'm just going to do. I can just space this evenly. This is an idle, and well, this one's a walk animation. And there's a game, an old Super Nintendo and arcade game called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure: Heritage for the Future. And in this game, there's a character called Pet Shop who is a falcon with ice powers. And he's so much better than every other character in the game that they ban him in all tournaments. And that is partially due to the fact that he's flying and he is immune to all low attacks because his hitbox is in the air. So I'm going to include this as like a special like alternate walk animation where you're flying, but you're going to take like a damage multiplier and knockback multiplier if you use this one. So you can choose to have it, but you'd be more vulnerable, and people can use aerial defense against these. And every attack won't let you be in the air, so you'll still have like chances to hit the person with low attacks, just not while they're walking and flying. Like when they're walking, you have to use anti-airs to get them out, and then they're at greater risk. So risk and reward. Okay, so that one was glide, and we have speed glide. No. Oh, I can select multiple things. Clicking buttons. Okay, I think that's all of the idols I have. And when I make the other ones for the other characters, I'll already be able to duplicate the animations and then just modify them. Okay. Let's see. Let's go and do Val again. All the animations. I guess I just did that. Yeah, I was fixing these while I was waiting for it to export, so... Oh, I didn't hit save. Oh, no. Oh, no. I hit Man. A little more. There's another thing I want to do. Let's see. So I think that I have a cool kick. Yeah. I think I don't have this like flying kick. I think I don't. I'm not exporting this flying kick as a move yet, and I want to add that move. So maybe just run this slow and make sure. So watching animations very slowly. I can do this fast. Just got to keep an eye out. Keep a close eye. Oh, there it is. Okay, never mind. What was it? High 4. But it's not actually high 4. I think it's high 5. Oh yeah, because this rush kick is this big one. Okay, so never mind. That one's ready. Oh, and look, while I was getting distracted, finished all our animations. QMT. Open file. All. 306 frames. Let's see. Do I actually have 306 frames in game? No, I don't. Somewhere in one of these, I don't have enough frames assigned for the animation. So I probably want to figure that out. Which one it is, but it's going to be hard to do with, let's see, let's add to blank here. Paste file in. Really don't know if that, yeah, that fixed it. Yeah, so now her jump animation's all good. Stagger's good. Let's just go through, look at all the frames. Crouch, tech, KO, flying, sit, sit 2, lie on the couch, taunt, taunt 2, taunt 3 is the guitar, taunt 4 is a lot. 6 is a kind of, okay, that's good. That's good. 3, 4 is the 1, 2. Ah, mid 6. Okay, I've added frames to the uppercut. So how do we want to do it? The way I've been fixing these frames without causing huge problems is adding blank frames and oops. Okay. And just go and take the rest of these. Scoot them back. So that's the only thing about this process. You got to make sure that the Aseprite has the right a tag on the right number of frames for how many frames I include in these captures, right? Well, that's the part that's kind of time consuming. Uh-oh. Okay, that's just 2 frames. Oh, I was going to add some frames to this animation too, because that's really, really basic. You know, that's high side kick. It should have like a different recovery frame, which should be Oh, okay. To space for that, and then I'll add those frames later. Let's scoot these out. Well, actually, let's go do it now. Let's just go add frames to this. Which one is that? I think in here I have it named as high side or something. So I wanted to add 2 frames. I might even like, yeah, let me add some time here. Oops. Okay, so I kind of want like another frame there. So let's scoot back this key. I want one up here. Actually, okay. So I'm gonna put a smear in here, right? So like, so I haven't like done any smears yet, and I'm not exactly sure how I want to. I'm not sure exactly how I want to do it. I'm gonna draw them over. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna have all the frames, right? So for this, I probably want to put a smear in here, like real fast. It'll look way better. It'll look way smoother than just starting from the wind up and then to the extended. But I don't know how I want to represent that in this because it's not going to be whatever frame that is. Like I was thinking about just putting in blank frame or something, like telling this somehow that I want it to be a smear frame instead of exporting, but I'll probably just export a frame that's kind of in the middle and then, or like really close, like here. And then I'll just erase her leg or whatever. And then I'll make it, let's just do that. I'll just put a really close one there. And then I'll draw over that as a smear. And then here, I'm going to, root. Okay, so then let's make this a little different. Okay, so how's this go? What do we have? What frames do we have? So here I'm going to have her, drop her leg a little bit, but I want it to be like she's turned around. So now you get to see some cool little Godot bone animation tricks. So I think that I have the whole sprite, yeah, scaled -1. So this -1 scale means she's going to point in the other direction. So that's why her torso is pointed to the left. So here, like, I'm going to leave that up for a couple of seconds. And then I'm going to reset her scale here. So I got a new key. So see, here's where it gets set there. For those who didn't watch my animation video, I think I took that video down because it was so quiet, and I was gonna go and edit it or reshoot some of it. But so the reason this happens, over here you have update mode. The update mode tells it how to change between values. So as you watch the scale value over there, as you go through the animation, it slowly changes from -1 to 1 on the scale. What we want is we want it to pop right over to the other side when we're at that frame. So you pick discrete instead of continuous. And then it goes pop, which is what we want for pixel art because we're going to be choppy anyway, right? We're doing individual frames, so we're going to solve the problem of it looking really choppy by posing her in a way that looks like it makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to put another key here, and this is going to be 1. This is going to be 2. And this one's going to be 3. Okay, so now the scale's fixed. So now, something cool you can do. Up here is like a quick key um, for keying, for putting in keyframes. This will put in a key for either location, rotation, or scale. If you have, no, it'll just put it in. Like if you hit key here, it'll just put in a new track for whatever you have selected. So in this case, I have hip selected. If I hit this, it's gonna put in a key for the hips rotation, which I do have a track for already. And then if you do this, then it'll do rotation and scale, etc. I don't want to change anything that I don't already have tracks for. This button right here will auto insert keys when objects are translated, which means moved or scaled or rotated. So what the easy way to do this is to have this record and then being very careful so you don't screw anything up. We have rotation. You can just, and this is hotkeys. If you press Q, you can change to the selector. W changes to the move around, and E changes to rotator, and S changes to scale mode. Yeah, okay. I don't want that to be like that. Oh, actually, yeah, I do. Okay, so let's see. Rotate her down here, but we want her foot to stay in the same place. So I have inverse kinematics set up on this. So when it's yellow, that means it's gonna like track the whole limb. When I move this, it's gonna rotate all of the roots back to the first bone that's yellow. And I did that with this kinematic bones, inverse kinematics thing. Okay, so now I want to make sure that this looks good. Yeah. And I might even, oh, but the thing, so when we do the scale, that's actually not how I want to do it. Because when we change the scale, her left leg and right leg swap. So I actually, now since it's choppy, what I want is I want her what used to be her left leg is now her right leg, and I want that to look like she was standing on it the whole time. So let's bring it down here. And I have to that. Might even need to move her over a little bit. Let's see. I'll move her over a little bit. And what is this? Okay. So let's change the frame for that. Do I have a frame track? Is this? Is that one? Okay, so I'm going to set the frame that, and then I'm going to flip it like that so it looks like it was the same one. So that means I wasn't keying those before, so I need to, oh, wait, okay. I need to make sure that's not, and I need to make sure that frame is this one. No, I want the frame to be, yeah, 1. Okay. So now, this is the same. The Z index is messed up again. Well, I want Z to be -1 because it's supposed to be relative to the right cap. The index is negative. Maybe this should be 0. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so now what do we got? And then I don't want that rotate to be. No, it'll be okay. So I could make the. I don't want the rotation tracks to be discrete. Tell us some softwares too useful for game development with Godot. Sorry, I wasn't watching the chat. I hope you're still here in the chat. Software is useful for game development with Godot. I like Aseprite. Um, one of the most important things that I use all the time is VS Code, because something that I believe Aseprite is lacking is search and replace through all files. So let's see. So like, let's see. So I can check all the places where I'm referencing this body node, for example. Like that. Body dot disabled. So I can go out and find out all the places where I'm using this. And if I change the name of this node, I can go in there and I can say it's my body if I changed it, you know. That's something really good. There's another couple things like this asset library tab up here. If you are wanting to add functionality, like Steam API. So when you're going to release your game, you got to integrate with Steam for like achievements, and I don't know everything that this does. I haven't used this one, but like there's a finite state machine plugin. There's like tons and tons of plugins right up here in this little asset library. And you can just go up here and find one and install it, and it is great. And I think right now I'm not really using any of the plugins for this because I used to have some. One of the really good ones is Dialogic that a lot of people use. Logic. There it is. Dialogic is a really good dialogue plugin that lets you. It's really good for like visual novels. I ended up using my own because my requirements weren't nearly as I didn't need nearly as many features as Dialogic had either. So it was getting kind of wonky for me to use that. So I made my own dialogue system with looked at some YouTube stuff to see. I'm sorry, I'll try to look at chat more often, but it's glance up. Okay, that helps. If anybody wants to know a couple more, and I love Aseprite. There's a couple other graphical programs I use. I use Krita and ProMotion NG, which is another pixel art application for some other stuff, and OpenTunes for cutscenes. Blender, obviously. Lots of stuff you can add. But I love Aseprite. Aseprite for the animation thing, you know. This is really helpful. ProMotion also has an animation stuff, but I like Aseprite. It's just really, really simple and easy, and it does everything I need. So I haven't spent the time to learn how ProMotion's animation thing works yet, but maybe I will someday. Okay, where were we? Where were we? What was I doing? I was fixing up. I was fixing up this high side kit. Side. Okay. So yeah, what I was saying was, sometimes there's rotational tracks that I don't want to be discrete because I do want some of the in-betweens. But so this looks bad, right? She's switching legs, and this isn't how I want it to look in the game. But as long as I don't put any keyframes in here, it doesn't matter, because my tool is just going to take a screenshot here and take a screenshot here. So what's important is where I take the screenshots. It's not what happens in between the frames. So if there is something screwing up, like the scale, when the scale was doing this, discrete, no, linear. continuous. When the scale was discrete, then this would screw up any frames I have in between, right? So I need this to be discrete, but I don't need the rotational um, tracks to be discrete ever, even if they look like they're screwy in between. So I'm just watching this, and then this, and the important part is that her leg here looks, and I need to change her hip rotation too. It looks like it's the same one as here. And the stars on her pants are going to be, I'm going to do that manually. I'm going to fix that manually later. It's this one and this one. I think the hips need to be a little bit. That's okay. Yeah, because the hips kind of look like they're. I mean, you can tell because the stars are flipping sides, but this is not going to be. I'm going to paint over these stars here because I just wanted to, like, because you're flip flopping all the time. I don't want to have to flip these leg sprites individually every time. It's just going to be hard. And I'm going to want to redraw that because I'm going to like add some bulk to the pants too at some point. Okay, so let's see. So we have this frame. Oh, it's, you know what I'm going to do just to be safe? Duplicate this. It's another way, if you do have continuous track and you want them to hold a pose for a little bit, you can select all the frames that you want to be held in place and then duplicate for the period of time you want them to hold that pose. Now it's a little bit better because in between these two frames, exactly in between that happens. So I guess your hips do need to be rotated a little more. This needs to go this way, maybe up a little bit. But then I'm going to also need to change the rest of it to match like it looks like this. Oops. Hold on. She's still leaning down there, but now she's going to be. She's just kind of rotating herself. So that rotation is, where's her head track? Rotation degrees. Let's do the same thing here. Oh, neck. Okay. See how that looks pretty good? Just looks like she was looking that way and then she turned herself around a little bit. Okay, so now we need to bring this up like she had this up. Which is, I don't want them. Get out of here. Take like the hands for here at a time. accidentally putting frames in there. I don't want them. Hopefully she's going to bring this down. Probably like look at watch Karate Kid or something. Figure out what this would actually look like. Okay, she's going to turn her foot here. I'm going to change the frame. And another thing I want to do is, let's see. Down like, what? Falling back on. I don't want it to jump like that. I guess what I can do is keep that there so it's more of a smooth transition. There we go. You know, she pulls backwards like that. That's cool, right? I don't know what she should do with her hand. Maybe just leave it up there like that. Case. Just turn this around. Which one? It's left. Front. And oh no. Sometimes like creates all kinds of weird. Okay, what's going on there? I don't know that I want any frames here. Oh, let's see. What are these things? I think it's this. It's causing weird stuff. Negative 350. Like, it's here. Okay, I just need to delete these two. Something screwed those up. Okay, and as soon as we rotate, I need to flip these hands. Should like bring this hand back. I think I'm happy with that. Sure, why not? Okay, 4 keys. Okay, we got 4. We got this. Let's do it again, maybe. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just gonna export that one because I don't want to export 300 frames again and have it take forever. It was high side. High side. Save it. See how that looks. The other thing is, it might 4 frames might look bad, you know? Might need to add more frames. 4 frames, more frames. Hmm. Well, let's add another frame in between because she like drops her leg down kind of nice, you know? Let's add another frame. Why not? What's all that trouble? Like we could add another frame right here. Let's push this one back. And then it's at 3.2. And then put another frame at the end. Do it again. Clear key. Nice. I don't know what that was. Maybe it's okay though, you know? All that matters is that the 5 frames we export are good. I don't care about anything else. Let me delete all this because that was... What's up, boys? How do I do what? I'll tell you everything. I have to ponder your Aseprite orb for a long time, and then you'll get to it. Hey, ask me any question about what I'm doing with Aseprite, and I will specifically. Maybe I'll talk through it again. I'll talk through it again. Maybe I'll talk through it every time I do it because new people are going to show up. Okay, let's see. Okay, what am I doing? So I have this little tool in Godot where I have made smooth high-res, high-ish res kinematic, inverse kinematic, like puppet animations. And then with the animation player, I use a method track that takes screenshots of the viewport that I have them in. And when so I can play the animations I created for this smooth thing. And then I queue up the screenshots, I hit save, and then in Aseprite lets you open PNGs. Yeah, I used to. I used to do that. I will like eventually I'll have to I am gonna I draw over these some like frame by frame, but you want to see the whole process and I explain it in real depth, you can watch I have a video called I make 3,000 frames of pixel art in Aseprite. Animations with keyframes in Godot to Aseprite. It's a little tool that I built. It's a combination of so in Godot you have this call method track. This lets you put in keys that call code. So I have a key method that emits a signal, and then the signal is connected to this utility that I made. And utility what does the utility do? the utility has a print screen. So I connect that key method to my print screen, and when you have in Godot, when you have a viewport, the viewport node has a method called save PNG, and you get, it's like get image, I think. Let's see, image. Yeah, viewport image get data. So get data returns an image resource. And then Godot's image resource lets you save it as a PNG. So then I loop through my smooth animation, and I scale it down, or I save all the PNGs scaled down. That's what this is doing. It scales it down. Because this is way higher res than I want for my actual pixel art here. So I scale it down, and I get those PNGs. I get six PNGs out for this, for example. 4? Hold on. 5. Yeah, I just added another. Not this one. Don't see. Master, open file. So it picks up Aseprite. If you have in a folder static images that are named the same with a number at the end, it will let you automatically pick them up as an animation. I have it set so that it automatically does it, but there's usually a little window that says, do you want to import these 5 files as animation frames? And then there's a little checkbox that says don't show again, and I turn that off because I don't want to click that because I'm doing it all the time. So then so then you get this in, and then you can go in here. You can, like, so you could do the same type of thing without my really complicated tool that's really finicky and almost breaky a lot. If you have an animation like this, you could even use Windows print screen, like screen cap or snipping tool, and you just have to make sure there's a way to scale your animation down. Yeah, it's so useful. So then I have this set up so that these little rigs, I can change this. So I could just drop in a new rig. I'll show you. I got a costume. So I have a different rig that so I have 2 different rigs. One of them is her normal costume, and then is gonna make me mad that she's wearing a sports bra. And then I just I change up her outfit because in Aseprite I have these rigs drawn with layers, so I can just add clothes on top, and then I can make a copy, and then I can drop in the other texture, and then I can make the same. Yeah, I'm one of those people who's like, oh, do really hard, really complicated work up front. Yeah, but if I was gonna do 100 frames on one character, I would draw by hand. But I got so far I've got 10 characters. No, like 12, 13, 16. I have 9 characters that I'm actually going to be playable, and then there's 5 enemies so far. And if I want to have a beat 'em up that has a lot of varied enemies, I'm going to have to make thousands and thousands and thousands of frames. So I'm not going to hand draw all that. It'll take forever. I'm doing it all myself, so it's no bueno. So I had to problem solve. Smear frame. This one right now. Yeah, this one right here. I'll put a smear on to make it cool. But for now, I'm not going to do that. Okay, scoot around here. So this is where yeah, man. You can get real creative with Aseprite. Has tons of tools and stuff that you can get into. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I've got a big delay, so I'm not going to hear my responses to your chats for a couple seconds. I'm thinking about doing an Aseprite or a video about all the cool stuff you can do with Aseprite. Like in that one video about the pixel art and about this process, I talked about all the some of the stuff you can do in and the sprite sheet exporter that's really helpful. And then you can add plugins to Aseprite. Yeah, I don't know. Someday. I think it'll be a good video. I think people will like it. But yeah, there's tons of stuff you can do to speed up processes. It's awesome. I love this application. Okay, so I got, no, I need to fix up the ponytails again. These don't look really, I'm going to redraw all these all over the top things anyway, so whatever. I don't know what this was. Where was this even? Oh, because I added a bunch of frames, so it's just, oh, these aren't even for that. That's for like this stuff. I had 3 frames here. So it's probably supposed to go like that. And then right too. Animator on top of AS Wizard Godot plugin. Yeah. I used that for a little bit too, but I ended up making my own because I that would be cool. Where is it? Yeah, Sprite Wizard. That's a cool one. Oh, there's a bunch. Nice. Love Godot plugins. Let me know if you do, man. Okay, let's see. Let's scoot that back. What's going on with these? I think that frame is just no good anymore. Doesn't seem right. I might just have to delete these ponytails I did. I'm gonna have to redraw it. It's fine. Whatever. What method? Oh, a new player? Yeah, like a player character? Yeah, I don't have to. I can just like all I have to do is rig them and start animating. Yeah, I do that, but like the dumping of this into a real character is very simple. So it's easy to make a rig. I timed myself on this, and I can make a new character in like 20 minutes. Rig smooth scaled. Rig smooth scaled Aseprite. Master. No. Smooth scaled reverse. I don't know which one is this. Hold on. Yeah, it was fast. It was a really crappy one, but so all I do is like I draw my characters in their underwear to like need to get anatomy, and then try to make sure that hides so people don't get. So I can just like draw something like this, right? I just draw a puppet, and then I duplicate the rig I already have. So I make a new instance of the rig. And what I don't want, I don't want it to be smooth. Like I'm trying to make it like, just waiting for it to happen. I'm gonna Slack, and then I'm gonna have some indecent content on the screen. What's this thing? Oh yeah. I want this I'm trying to make it like classic, like a Super Nintendo or like a, King of Fighters. I want it to be like King of Fighters. So they have like, 8 frames of nice animation. I don't want it to be, I don't want it to be so smooth. I don't know. Maybe people would like it smooth better. But I like it the way I'm doing it. That's what's important, right? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, let's see. Let's see, what are we gonna do? Oh, I got that in. Go back to my characters. Yeah, but I just dropped one in and the animations are shared. So he has all the same animations because they all inherit. Exactly. Thank you. So yeah, they all inherit from this base one, and the base one has all the animations loaded in it. So um, so they all share the animations. So when I make one animation, so like I did that big high side kick, and Ra has it too. All the changes I made, but I got to flip his hair around because Val doesn't have that hair sprite, but that's okay. Something for later. Yeah, so every character I have can now use the same animation. And I have a way that I can switch it up so that they're not exactly the same. But like in Smash Bros, stuff like that, they're 3D models. Sometimes they use a very, very similar rig. So for like animation for attacks, like I think Samus and Joker both have this spinny up kick thing, and they basically the same, but the stats are different. It saves them from having to model and rig so many different guys. But yeah, so it gives me enough, giving me all the conveniences of doing 3D model rigging without having to do 3D models because I suck at 3D. Okay, so now we're fixing her up. Got her doing that. I just deleted a bunch of the hair stuff that I had. It's all screwed up. I just delete all of it as much as I. Yeah, and I do. This is it's got co-op and versus. Just have some hair floating around. Oh, and I gotta move the hitboxes too. Never changing the size of the file. I can do this. I don't think I've done this before. Maybe I just set up layers. Everything. I think this one. I should have tried it first to see if it. I have so much in this one file. Yes, excellent. So much in this one file. I'm like Googling how many layers can you put in a spread? Yeah. Kids aren't allowed to look at my spread backs. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's run all the animations and see how it works. Probably need to go slow and yeah, I need to go slow and make sure everything's lined up. Yeah, it's not. So let's see. I need to just delete this whole layer of hair. Do it. I'll only have to redo it once because it's only screwed up because I changed the size of the file. Shaving. So, big haircut. Those. Okay, something here was not lined up right. Nope, that was already not. Changing this. Did I fix that? I fixed that. Oh, that's weird. That's right. That's right. That's right. It has 2 extra frames. Blank. Screw everything back. Tips for pixel art. Practice some regular art. High res. Pixel art, pixel art used to be called, you know what pixel art used to be called 15 years ago? Digital art. I have a video for you to watch if you want to learn about pixel art. Another thing about pixel art, copy. Like, not for your final thing, but like pick your favorite game, and make your character in the style of that game. Like I used to make, like Game Boy Zelda. I would like make characters that I would want to put in Game Boy Zelda, or Pokemon. Like I would make little like from Yellow. I would pretend I'm gonna add some Pokemon to a Yellow ROM hack or whatever. I would make up my own Pokemon and try to match the style. And another thing you can do, like if you look at it and you look at the style and you try to match what they were doing to solve problems, you'll learn those techniques for yourself. And it's hard to explain, like dithering. I don't know if I'm doing any dithering, but dithering and stuff like that is hard to get a grasp around if you just read about it and hear it explained. But if you like try to mimic a style, so what I'm going for in this is King Fighters, which I'm not doing a great job of mimicking it, but 10, like 7 older ones. Gameplay. It's not. Let's see. What's the oldest? King of Fighters oldest. Sprite sheets. Like this type of thing, like the higher res stuff. And I'm not going to get it as nice and detailed as they are, but it's a little higher. Like I'm doing this as a base, and then I'm going to shade over the top of it. So get this out of here for when it shows up with. So this is a little bit. This is my This is the stuff I hand draw for these, right? At the scale I'm going to actually have them be, and this is a little more shading, and like I've done her hair a little bit more shaded. And then something I'm going to try is there's a way you can use normal maps to do dynamic lighting over pixel art. There's a couple of games that I can't think of any off the top of my head that do it, but if that doesn't work, I'm just going to hand draw like shading more like this, not this detailed, but something like that. I'm going to find this video for you. 8-bit-ish. 8-British. No, 8-bit-ish art. Bit-ish art. Michael Ferrari. Yeah. 8-bit and 8-bit-ish graphics outside the box. Watch this. Blow your mind. This is the guy that did like, I don't know if you've seen this stuff. I'll show you the, go ahead and show you everything. Ferrari pixel. Archives. This stuff is so cool. So this is where I'm saying, you know, 20 years ago, pixel art was just digital art. All digital art was pixel art. So stuff. This is pixel art. Look at that. This is 255 colors. And he was one of the guys. He made Monkey Island, like the old adventure games. He worked for Lucasfilm, and he was like, he invented dithering. He was like one of the first guys who really figured out is it Living Worlds app? There we go. He's one of the first guys. Oh, come on, man. It's a web app somewhere. There we go. There we go. So, yeah, it's hard to explain. You should watch that video to learn it. But so one of the things he does, he uses like dithering and gradients to make this shading happen. Yeah, really. And the way it works is you have a fixed color palette, and you can just indexed color mode in art. It maps a color to a number, and then the palette is numbered. So this is color number 0. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you're painting in this, instead of like directly in the file, directly like putting a color on a pixel, it puts a number, and then the number refers to a palette. So if you change the palette, you change the color. So the way he does this, he can have like, he draws a picture. It's not animated really. It's just changing the palette he uses. So you can see down here, this is the palette it's using. And when you slide it around, he's defined different palettes for every time of day. I think it took him like a month to make each of these. I don't remember what he says. Let's see, where's the one with Haunted Ruins is really cool. It's the one? No, not that one. Pond, this is one. Then that's one technique. And then there's color cycling. So color cycling, the palette itself is animated, and you can shift colors in a range. And since it's indexed just the same, like each pixel will change with the palette changing. So then he gets all these crazy effects. He's a wizard. If you want to like think I have like little tricks up my sleeve with Aseprite, this guy is the wizard. He's the grand master daddy of pixel art. So watch that video and yeah, go watch that video. And like like when I advise people, you know, a lot of people will be like, learn traditional art before you learn digital art, before you start doing this. Don't do that. Don't feel like you have to learn traditional art first, but supplement your learning of pixel art with traditional art, color theory, and anatomy. Those are the ones that I try to study myself the most to be drawing. Yeah, nobody does it anymore. But I mean, the thing about that is you're limited with 8-bit art. You were limited to 255 colors, 255, I think, because one of them's alpha, one of them's transparency. I don't know, man. It's 5 or 6. Yeah, so you're limiting yourself, so you can't get as clean and smooth of gradients. But man, who cares? Look at this. You never know just by looking at it. But you can tell when you zoom in. It's gradients and dithering, and he does use Photoshop too. Mark Ferrari does. You can fake it by just painting at a low resolution, but you can get all the colors, you know, and will create smoother effects. And that's the same in Aseprite. So you can do that in Aseprite. In color, under color mode here, RGB color is high res, normal, not indexed, and then you can pick indexed, and then it'll do the same type of thing where so I select this, and I think you have to go to edit palette, change this. Yeah, see? So that's the same exact thing. One-bit color's fun. So yeah, then you can make your palette and index it nice, and then you can change the palette. So you could do the same type of thing. Aseprite doesn't have color cycling though. But this time I'm not going to do that. I think I'm eventually going to make my stuff in indexed color, but for now it's kind of, it's a little bit more rigmarole, and it's easier to do RGB color. So for now I'm doing that, but you can always convert stuff to index. But that's why I use two pixel art applications. Aseprite is a modern pixel art application. ProMotion NG is another one that allows you to do the color cycling thing. Oops. So this is another thing that's done via color cycling with the snow happening. ProMotion only has indexed color mode. I have something, and it has a lot more gradient options. So let's see if I have my gradients here. How many projects? Are you kidding me? What's your last problem? Garland. I want to hear it. I want to hear your problem. Default palette. This gives you a little option with, yeah. So ProMotion has it. Aseprite has it too. You know, has like some custom palettes built in that are master system. Doesn't have as many as Aseprite though. Aseprite has like all these old ones. I think they have like Game Boy and stuff. You can make your own palettes too. Pico 8 palette. So Aseprite has way more of these. So these applications both have like features that the other doesn't have. So I got this one. I got ProMotion, and I had Aseprite, and I love Aseprite, and I installed ProMotion to get the color cycling and gradient tools. And I was like, maybe I'm going to try to use just ProMotion. And then I got the animation, and I'm like, man, Aseprite's animation is so cool. It's like easier. Okay, let me show you. I guess this one's fine. So, gradient. Let's pick gradient. And gradient tools. Bucket. So it has all these like dithering options, and you can make a little mask to make like fire one. You can't really see that it's fire. And default size for every art in my game. I make a box at 32, but when I make a player, I make the canvas 32 by 50. I do different sizes. I just don't worry about it. I don't know. Like one canvas size that all game objects share. Canvas as in are you loading things in as sprites? I don't know if you can pick it. In Godot, you can at least, up here in the import tab, You pick sprite. I don't think they give you any kind of that thing though. You know what you might be able to do? No, it's just sprite. Sure, you can make it so that they're just going to import with the size of the sprite you have. You know, they're gonna give you the whole sprite. You could change the you can change the region. So you just have to go through for each sprite though and set region 32. And then that'll let you trim down any sprites you want. Or you just mean like it's hard to pick one? That is hard, yeah. It's something you can do that they did in old games. You can just make a sprite sheet. Let me show you. This is cool. Real quick, I'll show you. This is awesome. I want to show this before I get to that. So they've got all these gradient tools, and then this little button here, enable gradient cycling. This is cycle gradients. Oh, there it is. Enable. Close. Ah, there it goes. Flashing warning. Yeah, see, isn't that cool? So that's the same effect that Mark Ferrari's using for all his waterfalls and stuff. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like you can draw stuff and export it in a sprite sheet and then just load it in pieces. Because that's what they did in old games where they were like, because Game Boy and SNES and all those old consoles were all sprite tile based, and it was on a grid, so you have to compose larger sprites out of multiple little chunks. So then if you want to have a slightly bigger sprite, you still can. That would be something you would just do out of here. And then I guess I never thought about using a tile map as a character and moving it around, but I guess you can. I don't see any problem with that. I don't know. Well, let's see. I'm curious about the Artie Boy. I've never heard of Artie Boy. Giant Frog Studios is still here. That's cool. Oh, an Arduino. Nice. Arduino, not even Raspberry Pi. That's awesome. Ah, so okay, so it has to be 1-bit. I'm so curious. I'm a curious guy. C++. Sounds complicated. I like it. If anybody else is curious about this, I got another little thing to show. We're talking about making cool little handheld pixel games. Everything in a single large canvas, so we just use. Oh yeah, yeah, that would work too. So many different ways to do what you're talking about. So I don't know if I have advice for any single one. TV Studio. What is it? Where's the regular thing? There it is. GB Studio is like a little IDE um, that lets you make Game Boy games. You make ROMs. I've never used it, but I want to. I'm trying not to start a million little extraneous projects, you know. Um, but yeah, I downloaded this and have it sitting there waiting for me. Um, okay. Okay. So I have raw. Empty scene. So I got Val going. Oh, I was jumping through these frames just to make sure everything was good. This one looks good. The frames of the hitbox frames are out of order now too, so I gotta. That's something I didn't think about. I guess I have to scoot them. Which way do they need to be scooted? Back? It almost seems like no, forward. KP. Nickname. My name is not important. You can call me KP. Let's see. Something's wrong very early on. That one's good. Okay, so I guess let's scoot all these collisions out. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wait, no, not that far. Mm, oh, maybe that far. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to add some collision films anyway. It's just in the wrong place. I guess these need to move back. Do more. You too. Ooh. Let me make sure. Right now, I'm just going to make sure that turn this off so it doesn't distract me. And I'm going to make sure that all the moves have the right animations. Okay, so high 4 has a couple more. All these gotta move. That's weird. Did I get rid of an animation? Did I combine? That's the extent of this. This tag actually shouldn't exist. This is all... weird. Hmm. Guess I'm just gonna delete this one. So I don't actually have... This is low 1. I know that. Splits. No, there's one with effect. But I definitely changed that. I don't like that one at all. Shield, quick guard is correct. Dashes. Roll is new. What's going on there? Okay, what's going on? Oh, I deleted a bunch of these because they're kind of redundant. Okay, so I need to get rid of those. And what's going on? What am I doing? Master. Okay, I think I got rid of these two. Maybe in place too. Dash, dash. Dash, reroll, F4, yeah. Spot dodge? Get rid of spot dodge too, didn't I? Yeah. Right click guard, D dash, F dash. These are gone. They're kind of redundant. Okay, let's get this back. Remember how many. No, delete. Nope. Delete. Delete. I don't know what that's supposed to be. I'm gonna change that. Pop up, clip shot. How do I get this? Please change everything. Okay, good. Print. Cool. And accept templates. Ball. No. Add another. Do I want another frame now? Maybe not. Mm. Mm. Just gonna make it like this tag. Screwed everything forward. And load words. Pick that. Where it is. Okay, that seems right. Let's make sure the collisions are good. There's too many colors. Guess I don't care because it's gonna trim everything. As long as it's consistent, I don't care. Okay, that seems fine. Maybe I'll just redo the hitboxes because I all screwed up. I don't want to take very long. Or will it? I think they're worth redoing. I'll just see which ones I want to redo. This one's fine. This seems to be all this needs to be screwed back in. So I added so many frames to this one. Get that smear there. Guess I'll add another frame. These can just be. Get that. And here too. That's weird. I have the wrong frame. Guess that's the right collision for it though. I want an extra frame in here. This should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This should be 6 frames. That should be here. This doesn't appear to be the right thing. This is. That. Right. That's right. Starting to look right. Looking right. I think we're past the point where I changed a bunch of stuff. I need to put projectile location on this. That needs to move far. Oh wait, these go back here. Click. This can go at the beginning. This can actually just be the same. I don't know if I should do that though. Big ol' hitbox. It'll take time to start up. This one's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's a guard, so it doesn't need a hitbox. Okay. And we got one too many frames there. Delete that. Delete these. Okay, that looks good. Now I need to make sure that when I generate my other characters, they all line up. It's gonna go. Gonna go slowly. Okay. 300 frames. I think it's all lined up. We'll try a daisy and then we'll see. And then if she's lined up, then we got to do all the characters. That's fine. That is a bit of a time-intensive process, but let's save. Let's open. I should start at 0. What? That's no good. It's not right. Huh, I guess it's fine. It's 300, not 306, which is not ideal. Something's wrong. Okay, here's what we do when we have problems like this. Copy. Val visible. So the idle is just going to look different, but let's see. Looks right. So as long as they're synchronized, everything's good. But at some point, they're going to desync. Okay. That's wrong. What happened? First of all, that's weird. Why doesn't Val have... Oh, because okay, Val... I added that frame, and I added it... Wait, what? That's weird. Why Val doesn't have that one. And Daisy doesn't have high 5. So she's missing all those frames. Okay, so why is that? Utilities. Controls. Wait. Animation. High 5, I think. Maybe. No, rush kick. Rush kick. Let's have it. But maybe she doesn't have it signed. High 2. High 5 is high 5, which is something else. Wrong thing. Hold on. Oh, high one is uppercut for. That's wrong. Right? I gotta check what they have assigned to run. And no, high one is uppercut. Doesn't seem right though. High one isn't uppercut here. High one is high side. So what? That's uppercut. Mid six. Oh, I don't have a mid six. Okay. Mid five, mid six. Okay. So I gotta add mid six. Mid five is mid five, which is slap. Okay, so mid six should go in here. That's uppercut. Now I gotta scoot everything back. And then I only have five. It's fine, whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't know why that's how things shook out, but whatever. But she had her own thing going on, so I think it's not gonna take. Yeah. Yeah, I need to add mid six. It's everybody now. Still some problems with the system. I guess the only things that. Really? Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay. Yeah, I need to go through all the. Okay, so float. Should be right. Make sure. Everything. Here's what I should go through the other characters. Guess I was gonna wait until I know that she has the right stuff. Still missing something because it's 297. Should be 6 more than that. Let's see if Val also. Add frames to something and not add frames in Aseprite, not add them in Godot. Oh, she also has 297, but isn't this? It's like 300 exactly, so I'm missing 3 frames of something. Fireball doesn't have the right number because I. Maybe it's that I have one too few frames in the side. Add something. Oh, wait. Time to call it. It's time for lunch for me. Accomplished a lot of things. Eyes need a break. Thanks for watching.